I came to this country as an international student with zero experience and zero connection. Finding my first apprentice job as an aircraft maintenance engineer after graduation was one of the toughest things I ever did. But I was able to get my first job as an apprentice with this one strategy. In this video, I'm going to be telling you guys how I got my first job as an aircraft maintenance engineer apprentice. So I graduated in the year 2016, and guys, the job market in the year 2016 was terrible. If you think the job market in 2026 is bad, please take me back to 2016. And a lot of people that graduated during that time can testify it was really that bad, because I remember this clearly. 5 of my classmates, 5 people literally changed career path. They're like, man, fuck this. After looking for a job for 2-3 months, they're like, nah, I'm doing something different. I didn't have that luxury of doing that because I came to this country as an international student, and for me to get my immigration status and also get my citizenship, I had to do whatever, get a job in whatever I studied for. So basically, I had no choice. And not even talk about my tuition. Back then, it's even more expensive now. I paid $32,000 for the whole course. I am not just paying $32,000 to do something different. It's not I don't know how rich you guys are. My parents were not that wealthy. I didn't have that luxury. So for me, it was like, is either I figure out a way to get a job and build my career, or there was no other option, right? So I graduated in the year 2016. The market was terrible. But I remember days after my first month of regular application, because like I told you guys, were new to the system, didn't really know how to find a job. So I was just applying online like every other apprentice, right? First month went by, didn't get no single one interview. Second month went by, didn't get any interview. The third month, that was when I was like, you know what? I think I got to do something different. I got to look for a different strategy, different things, how to get his job, right? I remember this clearly. I called my mom this day and I was crying. I told her, hey mom, I've applied to all these companies. I'm getting no calls, no interview, nothing. My mom advised me. She was like, why don't you reach out to one of your professors and see how they can help you out, right? Which I did, right? I reached out to one of my professors. I'm not going to mention his name because the guy's still currently working in the school I study, right? So I reached out to him and it was like, send me your resume. Went through my resume, told me some things to change on my resume, and which I did, right? And I sent him the new resume I had, and it actually gave me references to apply to, right? And almost like 2 weeks of doing exactly what he told me, and also with the help of references, I was able to get my first aviation job. Yes, I remember this. Our first job I got was in Bombardier Aerospace. I could not get my license there because it was more of the manufacturing side, right? And yes, you can work in a pre-flight side, but you can't really get that many signatures working in the pre-flight. So I knew me getting my license there was impossible. I could literally not get my license there. So I worked there for a couple years to build my experience, right? Which actually played a huge role in me getting my first apprentice job, right? So after working there for a couple years, I got laid off because of COVID, right? Got laid off. Got another opportunity, but this was more on the contracting side. There was zero stability, especially with someone with zero license. The stability was terrible. In 2 months, I saw people losing the contract. So I knew back then I had no type of backbone to fall on because I had no type of qualification, no license, nothing. Like literally, if I lost this contract, that's it. I have to go back from the bottom over again. So I'm like, what? Let me make that sacrifice. The money as a contractor was pretty good, but I'm like, what? I got to make that sacrifice, try to get my license and start over again, get my apprenticeship and do whatever it takes to get my license, right? So, I was talking to a lot of my coworkers back then who had the same contracting job, right? And I spoke to this lady and she was like, hey, I know a company in this small town called Trois-Rivières, and whereby they hire a lot of apprentices. I actually have references there if you were interested in getting your license, right? Which I did. I'm sure I'm definitely interested. I sent her my CV. She literally sent my resume to the HR lady. Guys, I swear to God, the next day the HR lady called me. She literally called me. We had a phone interview. It was not even an interview. I don't know if it was an interview. Basically, she asked me a bunch of questions on the phone. She was like, hey, that was your experience, The next day, she sent me an offer. This is your offer for apprenticeship, right? And that was how I was able to get my first apprentice job. What were the factors that really helped me out to get this first job? Guys, the first thing I'm going to talk about is asking for help. This is why I preach this on my resume. You guys got to understand, especially as an international student, right? You guys can relate to this, right? Especially as an international student. We don't have the luxury. We don't have the real relative. We don't have the connections. We don't have the parent who is already an AME, who is already a pilot that can hook us up with these companies. I didn't have that luxury. I told you guys, our situation was even terrible. I came to this country, zero experience, no experience, literally zero mechanical experience. I did not study nothing related to mechanical back in my country. I literally finished high school and I came here as an international student, right? So my situation was terrible. Zero experience. My dad was never in aviation. Like, dad was literally in insurance. My mom was a teacher. I had zero experience. You know what I mean? No relative, no uncle who was in aviation. So I didn't have any upper hands to reach out to people that can really help me out. And that is why I tell people, before you graduate, you want to start building that relationship with people that can get you your first job. And I'm going to conferences. I told you guys this. Conferences is one of the easiest ways to get a job. Nowadays, a lot of companies are trying to push the course, the program to people. So that way, because I told you guys there's a shortage of AMEs, right? So companies are investing more in creating all these conferences opportunities whereby in once a month or twice a year they come together and they have people that will actually get you your first job. A lot of these conferences have directors of maintenance. They have licensed people that you can actually have contact of those people that will get you your first job. So reaching out to people is one of the fastest way, one of the easiest way to get a first job. You know, that's something that really helped me out. I've told you guys my story, man. All of the contract, all of the opportunities I've gotten throughout my whole career came from people, came from references. Opportunities right now, I do have the luxury of getting people reaching out to me for contract opportunities, and that is because I have built my relationship with these people. You know what I mean? That is why a lot of these contract opportunities come a little more easy to me right now, right? But before I got to that stage, I had to ask for help. I had to reach out to people, especially for we international students, man. My story is more focused on international students because I know what it is, man. We paid a lot of money in tuition, and imagine making all those sacrifices after graduation and you are not able to find a job. It hurt, man. I remember this. I cried to my mom, man. It was terrible. 3 months of finding no job. I could not depend on my parents because I had my sister year 2 as an international student. My brother year 2 was an international student. Now imagine your dad paying almost close to $60,000-$70,000 every 2 years because my brother was studying law and my sister was studying pharmacies, right? Which is a lot of money, right? It was a lot of money for my parents. So I could not literally depend on my parents for the next 2-3 years. So I literally had to find a way to find my first job and take care of myself. And I'm pretty sure a lot of we international students that is watching this have the same story. You don't have to be international student. We are currently studying to be able to have a good life, have a stable life. And that is why a lot of us are going to school to get that opportunity. Because we believe this career path can create that stable income, that stable life, right? And that is something, that's the reality. You being an AME can actually provide a good quality of life. Depends on what you call good quality of life. But you want something that is pretty decent, you want something that is, you want a stable job, it's hard to get laid off. All this, like, AME can provide those life for you. But imagine you making all those sacrifices in school, studying 12, 13 hours every day when a lot of your friends are going to the club party, you are there studying. Projects is like, it's not that easy. And after doing those sacrifices, you are not able to get a job, right? This is something that hurt me. I take it personal because I was in that situation. And that is why I tell you guys, reaching out to people to get help, to get our first job is one of the easiest things. It's one of the easiest things that can help you to get our first job, man. And if you're currently an apprentice right now who is about to graduate, or you've graduated and you've applied to all these places, you're frustrated, especially if you're an international student, and you don't have to be an international student. You could be Canadian, you could be PR, whatever, but you've graduated and you are frustrated. You apply to all these companies, and you feel like you are stuck. You're not getting any replies, you're not getting any interview, right? There is a problem to that. It's either you don't have a good resume, it's either you're not highlighting your skills on your resume, is that you are doing the same process as every other apprentice. Because you got to understand, right? The reality is you're in competition with a lot of people. That is something people don't understand, because you are graduating every year. You are graduating every year with at least minimum. Whenever you graduate, you are graduating over 100 apprentices every time you graduate. And you got to understand that there's not 100 jobs for every apprentice. So you got to find a way to stand out from every other people. So basically it's competition. So for me, I usually tell people to have a certain strategy to apply for jobs. Unless you are just going to be like me after 2-3 months of looking for a job, you can't find a job. And I don't want you to be in a situation whereby you come here as an international student, pay a lot of money for tuition, and you are unable to get a job, or you waste a lot of time, a lot of effort to pass your courses, get accreditation, and you are unable to get a job, right? I don't want you to be in that situation. So if you're currently in that situation whereby you've graduated, you feel stuck, you're not getting no reply, you're not getting no interviews, nothing, right? This is something I can help you out with, right? I have helped close to 15 apprentices to get a job, and this is why I know how to do this, because I have helped them out, right? I was in that situation, so this is a problem I actually solved myself, because I implemented different strategy, finding myself a job, finding these people a job. I told you guys most of the time I don't apply online, right? I have strategies in place whereby I put in place, I have emails or contact of people I can reach directly to who can get you that job fast as possible, right? It's not something that will happen in 1 day or 1 week, but it's something that will definitely happen faster than you are doing it by yourself, right? So if you're currently an apprentice who is frustrated, who is about to graduate, or you've graduated and you're frustrated about getting a job, this is something I can help you out with, man. There will be a link in the description. It is a form. All you got to do is fill out the form, and I will send you a link to the consultation so we can talk and see how I can help you out. All right, please, this is for people that are currently in Canada. You have to be that person who has already studied or who is currently studying aircraft maintenance engineering in Canada. Please, the reason why is because most of the experience I have, most of the connections that I have are people that are based in Canada, right? I don't have experience, I don't have connections in Europe, right? In the future, yes, maybe I can get an opportunity, but for now, I don't have those connections in Africa. I don't have those connections in Europe, but mostly for people that are Canadians, people that already have a Canadian education, and you don't have to be Canadian, or as far you have that Canadian experience, you have that Canadian education, right? This is how I can, these are the sort of people I can definitely help, right? So if you're that type of apprentice that need type of help, there will be a link in the description. Click that link, man. Fill out the form, book a consultation, and let me see how I can help you, all right? For you guys that are new to my channel, my name is Peter. I am a licensed aircraft maintenance engineer, and I educate people on how to become an aircraft maintenance engineer. I also have a video about a day in my life as an aircraft maintenance engineer on my channel. So if you are interested in those type of video, please don't forget to check out those videos out. But you can listen to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Love you guys.